Hello and welcome to World Watch on Oweleketv. I am Antonia Nwokolo. The U.S. Senate has passed a $105 billion bill designed to improve safety and customer service for air travelers, a day before the law governing the Federal Aviation Administration expires. The bipartisan bill, which comes after a series of close calls between planes at the nation's airports, aims to boost the number of air traffic controllers amid a shortage, improve safety standards, and make it easier for customers to get refunds after flights are delayed or cancelled, among other measures. After passing the legislation on a strong 88-4 vote, the Senate passed a one-week extension to ensure that the law doesn't expire before the House considers the bill next week. The FAA has said it would have had to temporarily release around 3,600 workers if the law expired at midnight Friday. Meanwhile, the U.S. House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee would hold a May 15 hearing on the federal government's response to the collapse of a Baltimore bridge. The Dali cargo ship crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge on March 26, killing 6 people. The hearing will include Federal Highway Administrator Shalene Bart, National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy, and senior officials with the U.S. Coast Guard and Army Corps of Engineers. The NTSB is expected to announce preliminary findings from the investigation next week. Last month, Homendy said investigators had conducted interviews with key cargo ship personnel in the investigation, including the pilots, the second officer who was the man on watch at the time of the crash, and other key personnel, as well as U.S. Coast Guard personnel. The NTSB has downloaded the voyage data record and brought in the manufacturer of equipment in the engine room to closely examine the electrical power system. The NTSB is also looking at the circuit breakers and has tested the fuel on board the ship. In other news, Benjamin Netanyahu has said Israel can stand alone after the U.S. warned it could halt arms shipments if the Israeli Prime Minister ordered a full-scale invasion of Rafah in Gaza. U.S. President Joe Biden said he would withhold some arms, including artillery shells, if Rafah was invaded, and had already paused a shipment of bombs over fears of civilian deaths. Netanyahu on Thursday, however, recalled the war of 1948 to dismiss warnings from the U.S., Israel's closest ally. The comments came hours after the UN said more than 80,000 people had fled Rafah since Monday amid constant bombardments and as Israeli tanks massed close to built-up areas. And now, a general strike against public spending cuts has affected most of Argentina, where schools, banks, and many shops remained closed. Train and metro services were suspended on Thursday with limited bus running. One of the main union leaders, Hector Daher, said the 24-hour strike was a wake-up call to President Javier Milei. Mr. Daher urged him to review some of the cuts to subsidies and social programs. Milei, a right-wing economist, has begun implementing comprehensive austerity measures since coming into power in December. He says his measures are necessary to reduce Argentina's public deficit and control the country's inflation rate, which is the highest in the world at nearly 300% a year. And that's all we have for you on World Watch. I am Antonia Nwokolo.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.